Good morning, YouTube Pie Smokers. So the title of this video is Fact versus Opinion. I was listening to a YouTube channel the other day, and it happened to be on guitars, and the guy made a statement that raised my antenna and made me prompt me to do this video. He made a statement that in his opinion, and the key word here is his opinion, that brand X is better than brand Y. So and he stated that's his opinion, and he's entitled to his opinion. So that started me to think how many things are actually fact versus opinion. Now, you gotta understand there's bias in all things, and some people try to make opinion a fact based on bias or experience. But at the end of the day, it's still an opinion. So here's some facts that we can't dispute. The sun is a star. We know that's true. Humans are mammals. That's a fact. Living things are made up of cells. That's a fact. But if you think about a lot of things, you really can't say factually they're accurate, especially when it comes to taste. I can say Maxwell House is the best coffee. To me, that's an opinion. Somebody out there drinks, tastes Maxwell House and they can't stand it. By the way, I don't think Maxwell House is good coffee, but I just used that because the name came to my head. But when you're dealing with anything, a pen, to some people, there's no better pen than a Bic. That's their opinion. Now, where opinion can get you in trouble sometimes is, let's say I'm a famous person and Bic Pen, I'm a writer, and Bic Pen endorses me. Now, because I use only Bic pens, and let's say I'm a famous writer, I'm trying to make other people believe that this Bic pen is the best pen in the world. At the end of the day, it writes great and everything, but it's still a Bic pen, and there's no way to prove it's a better pen. Because somewhere somebody has a Mont Blanc that stained their shirt or stopped writing in an important time, or they had nothing but trouble with a Mont Blanc, possibly. So it's hard to separate, really, fact from opinion to an absolute where, and this comes to that question, and it was a really good subject, the corn cob versus a high end pipe, because at the end of the day, it's opinion based. There's no way to prove it. And that's what fact has to do. It has to be able to be proven. So to somebody, someone out there has a Dunhill that they paid a lot of money for that they can't get a good smoke out of it. Again, not likely, but somebody out there, if you spoke to them, they'll say, I can't stand Dunhill, it's a terrible pipe. I bought one and it didn't smoke good at all. There's a lot of controversy about Peterson pipes, for example, their quality control. There's some out there that just smoke nothing but Petersons and never have a complaint about them. So, again, it's opinion with a bias, and sometimes when you're so passionate about something, you lose the fact that it's your opinion that's interfering with your thought process. Many, in my business, Snap on is like the tool of choice for professional mechanics. A lot has to do with prestige. Prestige comes into play because basically Snap on is a professional tool name. So is Mac and Matco, but Snap on was the first on the block, basically. And homeowner brands are like SK and Craftsman. Okay, most mechanic shops you go into, I would highly doubt see a Snap-on tool in that shop. Snap-on is like just known as a professional tool, and it's almost sacrilegious for a mechanic not to have some form of Snap-on tools in their shop. But again, that doesn't make Snap-on the best tool. They're very good, but it doesn't make them, in my opinion, there's no way to factually say they're the best wrench out there. I can make a good argument why I think they are, but at the end of the day, you can buy the cheapest wrench in Harbor Freight or some no name, and it'll do the job just as well. So, again, it's something that really is no absolute to it. Chances are you'll get more years out of the Snap-on than you would with a cheaper brand. But again, there's somebody out there that had her Snap-on wrench fail. So it's very, very difficult to have fact on every subject. And whether you're a professional in whatever trade you're in, at some point there's some bias that gets in the way. And sometimes you believe so much of working with one particular tool or buying a particular item that in your mind it's the best tool out there, but that doesn't make it a fact. So I think in the case of anything that especially deals with taste and styles, and it's like cars, it's like anything you can think of. I think this is the best looking travel mug out there. Well, somebody looks at this as a stupid thing. It's big. It's a terrible color. It's I wouldn't drink out of that. So there's no. I can't say factually this is the best cup. To me, I like it, but it's again, it's opinion versus fact. And same thing with wines. And just because you buy a high-end bottle of wine doesn't mean it's the best wine. Flat Cat Piper and his wife did an excellent job the other night with 3 wines. One was $60 and one was $4, and she liked the $4 one better than the $60 one. So, what does that tell you? And yet, somebody drank that $4 bottle of wine and probably spit it out and loved the $60 bottle. It's I often look at if you ever look at magazines like about houses and stuff, you see these houses decorated by professional interior decorators. Some of them you say, "Wow, that looks terrible," but to somebody they like it. When on that subject, years ago, we had a 2-family house, and a guy that used to work for me rented the downstairs with his wife. So one day he says to me, "Is it all right if I paint?" I said, "Sure." So he wanted to do that popcorn finish on the ceiling. It looks rough. You put the spackle and you pull it down, and it gets rough. That rough look, or like a sand paint finish. And he made a statement. He says, "It's only going to improve the value of the place." I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, stop there." I said, "You're welcome to paint, of course." I said, "But I didn't want him to think he's improving the value of my property." And I explained to him, I says, when you move out because you buy a house or whatever you do, somebody may come in and look up and say, "Oh, I don't like that popcorn feeling," and I have to redo it and make it smooth again. So, and he looked at me and said, I never thought of that. Because it's personal taste, personal preference. I drive a Jeep Wrangler, 2012, mine happens to be. Jeeps are terrible vehicles. They're cheaply made. The fit and finish is terrible. But I like the utilitarianism of the Jeep. Jeeps have a following. There's like a whole Jeep community. It's like a Corvette community. You have these clusters of people that just like certain things. But it doesn't mean I'm driving it because it's the best vehicle. It's terrible. It's cheaply made, poorly made. Reliability is not great. but I happen to like it. But for me to try to say it's the best car out there, it wouldn't be right. And it's not right. It would be only my opinion if I thought that. It's no fact. Matter of fact, facts can go in the other way where I can almost prove to you the amount of problems they have. But that's not the point of this. So the point of this is anything you listen to, whether it's news, YouTube, Facebook, don't always accept things because a so-called professional is telling you it. Like Emeril Lagasse, who I happen to think is a great chef, and I followed him for many years. He may use a certain brand knife, and you say, "Wow, for Emeril to use that knife, it must be the best knife out there." Well, possibly, but remember, he can be endorsed to say that knife is the best one. Just having that knife on the counter, people see that. I'm an Emeril fan. I'll seek out that knife because Emeril has one. That doesn't make that knife the best. There's no way to prove it. There's no way to prove it. It's that simple. And it's like that in a lot of things. Cameras, tools, cars, phones, computers, pipes, wines, you name it. When it comes down to it, it's an opinion. You take like fly fishing versus fishing with a worm. To an avid fly fisherman, that's the best way to fish. To a guy that likes fishing with a worm and a hook, and he doesn't fly fish, he'll say this is the best way. They both catch fish. At the end of the day, it's an opinion. So I hope that gives you food for thought. And the best friend is Google for a lot of things. If you hear something, I don't care who's saying it on the news or YouTube, or do some research. Use your head, use your opinion. Look up facts if they're available. Do your research before you think what you heard is an absolute. Hope that helps. Hope that makes you more alert and opens your mind. And don't take things too seriously. If you hear it on YouTube, don't unsubscribe to somebody if you like their channel, or if you like a few things they say but you don't like everything they say. Everybody has a voice. Everybody has a style. Not everybody will like what somebody else likes. And that's okay. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That's why there's blue shirts and white shirts and pink shirts and purple shirts. Because somebody hates blue, or somebody loves pink, or you get my point. Somebody loves briar pipes, somebody hates briar pipes, somebody loves corncob pipes. It's all over the map. It don't make him right, you wrong, or vice versa. It just doesn't work like that. So, even you could say the sky is blue. Somebody will look up and say, well, I don't know, it's not really blue, it looks gray, it's black. So again, fact is a funny thing, and a lot of things are not factual. Anyway, hope you have a great Sunday. Be well. Beautiful day in New York. Cool, clear, crisp. May rain later, but beautiful sleeping weather. Be well. Stay safe, and thank you.